So we've cleaned up the JZ a little bit, but it's time to move on to the car itself. As you guys have seen, this car is sort of a rusty mess of a beast. About an hour ago, I took my new addiction, thanks to Instagrant, my needle scaler, and I needle scaled the engine bay. I've gotten most of the stuff out of it and out of the way. The ECU box is kind of up and out of the way, and you can see that I've gone through and I have, oh man. You can see all of this. A lot of this rust was actually hidden by paint. So this cool thing about this needle scaler is anytime you have brittle paint, you can clearly see that it just goes down to bare metal, and it will bring up any paint that's covering any rusty spots or any poor prep spots. But you know, at this point, now I probably will end up doing the needle scaler again. I need to go through and really, well, I need not only the rust, but I need to degrease it. And I need to do basically the same or similar process I did to this. But because I'm painting the entire engine bay, it does have to be very, very clean. So I'm gonna end up taking out I'm gonna have a new brake master, probably just go ahead and do a whole new brake booster assembly, take out all the AC lines are fully emptied and out and stuff like that, take out a lot of these wires and stuff, and I'm gonna clean up the engine bay today, and maybe even, actually, you know what, why not? Let's finish up this whole video. I want to paint the engine bay. I'll probably start with Steel It because that's really good. I'll show you this stuff right here. No plug, no nothing at all. My friend Nate Hamilton told me about this. A lot of people with pro cars will use this on their chassis instead of powder coating it these days. Look at this car. This car, my Pro-Am 370Z, is all Steel It. Cool thing about this is it doesn't rust and you can weld on it. This goes on the same every single time. So you can always touch it up and you're just never gonna know where you touched it up. It's really interesting. I was kind of skeptical about it at first, but it's amazing. So we'll probably do that at the beginning. You can obviously paint over it as well. So we're gonna have that as a base coat. And then maybe, just maybe, to figure out something crazy and make it look nice. But yeah, I started with the needle scaler, but I think it's time to go through, get a bunch of lines out of the way, clean up as much crap from this bay as possible, and just get hammering away. I'm gonna use some simple green, and like I mentioned in the Jay-Z video, I'm gonna use enough chemicals to put me on a watch list, or at least the EPA gonna come to my house and knock on the doors, but I'm gonna get all this out and nice and clean, rust gone, decontaminated. This bay's gonna look sick. I want to show you guys a little bit of what I've done. I'm going to continue tomorrow and continue to wrap everything up. I got to cover all this, and also proof wiring is trash. So I've pretty much degreased, prepped the entire bay, on exception for like a little bit of the back because I've had to clean and spew some stuff everywhere. But as you can see, I use this stuff called Steel It, and it's pretty much the whole chassis. My whole 370Z is Steel It, and it's pretty cool because it's like stainless steel. It's steel infused like polyurethane aerosol. It cures one way, and it goes over and pretty much just creates a whole new layer of metal. You can weld on it, and you can still paint over it. So I'm still going to be going through and painting and making sure all this is nice, but I wanted to reseal and make sure that there was no raw metal anymore, like stuff like this. So obviously it looked like, here, you know what, I'm gonna switch cameras. So it looked like this, the whole thing, and now, I mean, simple as like just a few sprays, it looks like this. Now it's not anything impressive, and I'm not gonna go through and shave the bay. Like, dude, I don't got that much time, but it's gonna be sick. And I'm trying to decide if I like the way Steel It looks, but I also like the way good paint looks. So probably gonna be painting the whole thing, and you can kind of see right here just the massive difference in just having no rust in the bay. Even if I just didn't paint after this, it would still be amazing, because this is crazy. Just having something that doesn't look like that, all that rust, nasty, bro. Like this, that compared to this, sick. It's a super cool product. I mean, if you want to use it, go ahead. There's not too many crazy uses. I mean, a lot of painters probably just sand it down and primer and everything. I'm going to still use filler primer. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do, but I'm just going to keep going as this video goes. I'm going to just kind of spray over it, do a base coat with this stuff, and then we'll see. This honestly I think this actually can be used as a primer, but I do have filler primer coming, so I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be honest. I have no freaking clue what I'm doing, but I'm having fun while doing it. That's my old motto, and I'm gonna stick to it. I've got the brake booster off. I've got to disconnect it from the brake itself, and then I can go ahead and get that out of there so I can paint the whole back half of that. But this is gonna be exciting, dude. I'm really excited. This is cool. Okay, I'm a bit obsessed over this, but I've gotten everything masked off. And, well, not everything, but I think I actually have a new harness. So I might not even need to cover all this up. But anyways, I'm gonna move the harness as I paint. But I really wanna show this stuff off. This is really cool. I'm scuffing it up. And as you can see, as I'm going over it, like, it's only scuffing the areas that might have had like a higher spot or maybe not as much surface prep. And so I'm gonna scuff it and then basically make sure that everything's good for me covering the entire bay in this. A lot of it's gonna be hidden, and I'm not gonna be like crazy on this engine bay, but I want it to at least look good. At least all one color. One annoying thing was had some brake fluid drip down here. As you can see, had some sprays, but I started doing this and it's still stuck really well. And if it's not coming off with the green Scotch-Brite, then it's pretty impressive. I'm doing a little scuff just to make sure that everywhere that I had sprayed is pretty much ready for paint. So I don't know, it's pretty cool, dude. I'm excited to have this bay done. So I guess I'll just go ahead and put you guys on a tripod real quick and start spraying. So the cool thing about this stuff too is it's really just creating a new metal base under everything I'm doing. I'm still gonna be primering, still gonna be painting, but this is just creating a new little piece of solid metal to not rust anymore. You know, it's really neat because it doesn't, I mean, it obviously paint sticks to anything that it touches, but it doesn't really stick to like rubber surfaces. So the stuff that's rubber in here, rubberized kind of stuff, you can pretty much, you can rub it off and it won't stick or anything like that anymore. So a lot of the hoses and stuff, I mean, most of the stuff that I oversprayed in here is either going to be replaced, fixed, taken out, you name it. A lot of this, like, the lines in there, those won't exist anymore after I'm done with the ABS relocation, but it's cool. This stuff also, like, it dries and applies the same way. So you really can't tell where you've touched up and stuff. It's neat. It's good stuff. Now, I'm still gonna, like I said, I'm not done yet. I gotta go through all this. I wanna make all this metal pretty much new. I need to actually cover up my tires. I'm being silly right now and kind of just overspraying everywhere. The nice thing about having a floor, or at least this particular side of my shop, nice thing is having a floor so dirty is the paint sticks to the dirt on the floor and you can just sweep off the paint. So it's kind of cool. Or shout out to my big girl Bertha over there. She'll get it taken care of. I do actually really want a paint booth. Eventually, at some point, maybe like an inflatable one, something really simple. But for now, it honestly is fine. I got my door open today. Breathing in a little bit of paint only kills 1 or 2 brain cells, and that's about 50% of the brain cells I have anyway. So I'm gonna wait until I get the rest of my tape and the rest of my filler primer, and then we'll continue this. But this is a good start. We're off to a good start. I'll do a little bit more sanding, prepping, painting, do that kind of thing. I wanna make all of this look at least like a fresh palette of metal. I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. I've done so much to the car and I've gotten really into diving into every little nook and cranny that this car has potentially wrong with it. I'm super excited how this turned out. I was able to clean up a lot of the stuff. You can kind of see the wiring harness and stuff like that. It's still kind of meh, but what the heck happened here? I've got pretty much every little bit of this coated in this stuff, which is going to allow us to either keep it this color, which I think I might, or paint it. Now I'm gonna actually be working with a company called The Spray Source, and we're gonna be making this car a custom color, which I'm super excited about. So you can see I've masked off most of the car, and I'm gonna start sanding everything and body working everything here pretty soon. But I'm super amped. Everything is so much better than it was. A little before and after, what it wouldn't hurt right here. Man, before the car just looked so atrocious and the bay looked terrible, and now it just looks one solid color, and it's gonna look so good when the wiring harness is in there, all tucked nicely. I got a new cross member. That's a long story. You guys will see it in another video, but had to get a new cross member for the front. My favorite accent color. I've got a new steering rack that we powder coated in chartreuse, which is going to be so sick. We've got some CNC 71, I think, coming out for this car. It's so sick. I'm very excited with how this car is coming out. I've wanted to make sure that every car that I touch now is just everything just gets as much love as possible, and nothing is half-assed. And I want this car to show that. So it's really, really cool. Bunch of steel on there. You can weld or whatever to it now, but also it's just a really good base for whatever we do now. I could prime it and then spray it with whatever color the entire car is, but I honestly really like this as a secondary color, and it's very easy to clean. Very easy to clean, very easy to touch up, so I might just keep it how it is. That's gonna wrap up the engine bay video for this. Next thing I've gotta do, which I'm thinking I'm gonna do today, is I've gotta disassemble, at least take the oil pan off of the JZ and check how it is. I'd like to build it, but I'm getting to the point to where I don't want this car to be down longer than it needs to. I'd rather paint it, get it running again, and even if I have to do NAT on low boost for a little while, might do that, then take it out, do rods, pistons later. Gotta take the engine apart, and then I've got some engine swap stuff to do over there with the Civic and the 240. By the way, make sure you check out our podcast. Actually, today the episode's coming out. One of the most commonly asked questions, and it's about the Barn Find Evo. So we have a podcast about that today. But my daily advice for you guys is sometimes it feels like God might be picking on you. God might be picking on us. I heard something that was, I'll paraphrase it here because I don't remember exactly how it was said. Sometimes God gives you battles that nobody else goes through so that you can see a victory that nobody else will. A lot of times, like for me in particular, I get it, guys. I feel like I'm getting picked on constantly. I'm tired. I'm getting beat down over here. I'm getting smacked around, but it's like I have to have faith that at some point, maybe I'll just see a victory. Maybe all this is because I'll see a victory that, maybe nobody else was able to have because of the battles that I was given. And so I want you guys to use that as encouragement. Sometimes our life might seem harder than other people's. Sometimes our battles might seem more tough, and maybe that's because we need to learn tougher lessons and to become bigger people than those other people that we're comparing ourselves to. I love you all. I'll see you guys next video. Peace out.